Hey guys, it's Reed here, and this is episode 9 of Contest Coding. Today we're going to do a problem called eBay, where essentially you are comparing two different prices based on different conditions, including starting price and closing price, and different commissions and stuff you add to it. The DAT files will look like this, where it just has two prices, the original price and the sale price, and you also have the conditions where what if it doesn't ever get sold because it's eBay and you don't always get guaranteed that your stuff will sell. I am once again going to be running through terminal and Xcode just because it's nice and it works well. And yeah, so let's get started. Basically, the first number you're going to take in is you want your double, and then that's going to be org for original price. And we'll just pick that one up with our next double. Then we're going to take the string of the next number. The reason we're using the string is because it may not ever be maybe the not sold thing. So if it's never sold, then you'll get a string value and you won't get a double value. And there's other ways you can handle this. Probably the simplest is just taking it .contains n. It's going to be capital N not sold. N equals -1, which we'll use as our key code. That means it wasn't sold. Else n equals parse double the test. So that's pretty simple and it will get the job done. Now we got to calculate our fees. So we'll do double fee of the old stuff equals 0 and double fee of the new, which is the new price. You're comparing old methods of calculating cost and new methods that the eBay people decide to use. So first we'll do fee old equals, has to get incremented by the initial cost of, we'll make this cleaner right here. Watch this. And let's see if that compiles. It probably does. So clean that up. Craziness. And let's do Java C on ebay.java. Does it compile? And it looks like it compiled. I don't have the folder open with all that junk in it, but yep, it compiled just what we wanted. Great. Okay, so that does work. Just making sure. So yeah, that was just me being crazy trying to make it really cool. Fee O, which is fee original, needs to be incremented by the insert fee old, which will be using the cost org, like that. And then the fee new has to get the same insert in new fee. Now, what you saw there is I'm calling methods that I haven't actually written yet. We'll just write the rough draft of them. Basically, it's going to be public double, and it will be insert O double D, and it will return a double. And there'll be one that's going to be a double insert N double D, and it will also return a number, but we don't have those numbers yet. So we're just going to assume the code works for that and move on. So if end, the sale price is greater than 0 and it is less than 25, because these are all like the conditions of how much the fees are. So you have to do a lot of if statements, checking stuff, and making sure that everything is working at the same rate. And then you're just going to run fee plus equals end times 0.25. There are some tricks you can do to make this, it's actually 0.025. Yes, 0.0525. Like that, okay. There are tricks you can do to make this where it's like switch cases and stuff and make it like all go down and multiply stuff out. It's probably simpler just to do it with if statements because you're not going to make a mistake. The biggest issue you're going to have in this problem is making mistakes if you don't calculate everything out perfectly. Because if you do that and you have typos, and it just is a problem. So the easiest and cleanest way to worry about getting your numbers correct is just doing it with multiple if statements. And I need to be doing the fee in here. Actually, fee O. There we go. Okay, fee O, fee original, plus equals end. Then I'm going to split it out here to make it times 0.0525 plus the n minus 25, make sure that's in parentheses, make it nice and usable, times 0.0325. So this is just saying that the value changes depending on the price of your object. If n is greater than 1,000, we're going to do phi o plus equals 25 times 0.525 plus 1,000 minus 25. I'm just doing this like 1,000 minus 25 just to make it look similar across all of my if statements, so it's easier to debug and to understand what's going on. And you do end minus 1,000 times 0.015, and nice and pretty like that. Hopefully I don't have too many mistakes in all that junk, but right now it's looking relatively decent. Now we'll do the exact same thing, which we can even just copy and paste this. Usually you don't want to copy and paste code, but copy and pasting this is actually not terrible just because it's going to be the exact same numbers, just the percentage values change. So we're going to have to fix it like that. So now instead of being 0.0525, it's going to be 0.0875. And instead of being, oops, drop that. Yeah, it's going to take, it takes the hardest part of this problem, the part that's taking me the most time to figure out, is what the actual values are for each of my different percentages that I'm given. Because if you make a mistake with typing in your numbers, you will be in big trouble. Like that, you just got to keep checking them all the time, making sure nothing is going crazy and everything looks like it should. So that should get all the fees of commission worked out. So yeah, this section right here is all the commission fees. Hopefully I spelled commission right. And this is the like the entrance fees. Commission, yeah, that's good enough. Little documentation, usually you don't do that, but doing it today. So now we have to decide what we're going to print out. You're not just printing out the price difference, you're printing out more or less or fancy things like that. If it's equal, you're going to print out phi o equals phi. What we're going to do is we're just going to say out.println same, and your dollars and stuff 0.00. Make sure you print it out how they want it. So in this case, they want it to be same, capital S, lowercase other letters, $, and then the price difference, which is $0. If you don't do it like the contest creator people want, then you will get knocked off. They'll count against you. You'll get like the problem submitted is wrong. So you want to always make sure you're printing exactly how they envision it to be printed. It's the big they who are just crazy. So we'll just do dollars percent dot 2f followed by a new line, and that will be for the value of phi n minus phi o, like such. And the last one, we'll do another printf statement, less followed by $, percent dot 2f, a new line, and phi o minus phi n, like that. So that just gave me the differences in printing it out just how the contest judges want it to be printed out. So the next part we're going to do is we have to fill in the method. So essentially this will work except for the fact that insert O isn't actually inserting any value. So nice and simple, if D is less than or equal to 0.99, so less than or equal to 99 cents, get out of here, print brace thing, go back where you belong. Why is it all formatted? Crazy. Whatever. Then you're just going to return the 0.2, which is the entry fee. If D is less than or equal to $9.99, then you can return the 0.4 entry fee. If D is less than or equal to $24.99, etc., etc. The reason I am not using the else if stuff is because you really don't have to. When you do a return statement, it will automatically just skip over the rest of them. So as long as you put them in the right order going down, then you shouldn't have any issues regarding the Like, oh, is it going to need an if-else statement here? Just, you don't ever have to worry about that. Just use return statements. Now, if you set it up a little bit differently, you would have other issues that you'd have to account for with the if-else statements. But for me, it's pretty simple, and I don't have to worry about it. Oops. Just pain in the butt reading the values off of my problem statement. And you can't really copy and paste because, well, it's not straight up text. So that should counter those 4.8, 3.6, 2.4, 1.2, 6, 2, and 4. And once again, I'll just copy and paste it into the insert in. And then all I have to do now is change the values to 0.15. To do 0.35. I keep adding extra periods. 5.5. This is going to be 1. This is going to be straight up $2, $3, and $4, like that. So hopefully that will compile. Let's see. We'll just do that again. Looks good. And we'll do Java, eBay. Come on. And, ooh, that's a little interesting. That's not quite what we wanted. We were looking for a little bit different values there. So now it's time to debug and see what is going on. So it's all just, so that one's good. Less 40 cents is correct. These ones though are still printing out less. It's giving me exceedingly large values. So let's try to go back and see what went wrong. So insert O, orig, insert new, new, set fee, O, fee, oh, right here. I just kept adding everything to the fee O and didn't change it to fee new. So that would explain why stuff was going crazy. Compile that again, run it, and that is looking a little bit better. More 80 cents, more $3.26, and less 40 cents. So there we go. That's the solution. Essentially, you're just having to do a bunch of if statements, and it's pretty simple as long as you kind of think about it through and make it clean code that you can actually work with. You could have made this a lot simpler, faster, more efficient, probably cleaner, but for me, this is the easiest way to debug. As you saw, there was an error, really fast to debug since everything is nice and organized. If you're going to do a problem that's even more complicated, I would definitely recommend adding comments to your code. Even though you're the one writing it, you have teammates that might be able to debug it and help you out and just basically save you from having to waste time teaching them what your code is doing and having them debug it. If you put comments everywhere, it'll make it easier for them, and it really does not take that long to type in 2 forward slashes in a word. And just a couple of those throughout your code really will save time if you don't get it perfect every time the first time. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Friday.